Hello, and welcome to the Business Council of Westchester Member Spotlight. My name is Linda Tyler, and I'm the Vice President of Membership and Programs. The BCW is the county's largest and most influential business membership organization, offering over 100 events, programs, and panel discussions yearly. I'd like to thank our sponsor today, Tompkins Community Bank. My guests today are Dave D'Amelia, President for the Hudson Valley Region for Tompkins Community Bank, and Dr. Heidi Davidson, CEO of Galvanize Worldwide. Dave and Heidi are members of the Business Council of Westchester Board of Directors, and Heidi also sits on the Tompkins Community Bank Board. Welcome to you both, and thank you for your longtime support.
Yeah, thank you, Linda.
Before we get started, let's talk a bit about Tompkins Community Bank and Galvanize Worldwide. Tell us about your companies. Dave, shall we start with you?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Linda. So delighted to be here, and thank you for having us. Tompkins Community Bank is a 185-year-old institution. We started up in Ithaca, New York, where our corporate headquarters is. And over the last 20 years, it's been 4 different community banks all coming together in today's modern world to share back office services. And we operate as 4 community banks in different regions. I'm so fortunate to be here in the Hudson Valley, which is one of the most dynamic regions to be a banker in the entire world, frankly. So we've been in the Hudson Valley for 100 years. And it's just been growing every year since I have been here with the company for 17 years, and we've tripled in size. So it's really been an exciting tenure so far.
That says a lot about the great work you're doing. Heidi, talk to us a little bit about Galvanize Worldwide.
Thanks, Linda. Glad to be here with Dave, too, and you, Linda. Galvanize is my firm, built 10 years ago. This is our 10th anniversary, and it is a full-service marketing and communications firm. We sort of bucket it into 3 separate areas: startup advisory work, full-service marketing and communications, and then crisis communications. So athletes, entertainers, businesses, organizations of all types who are experiencing some sort of crisis.
And I can't imagine a better person because you are a calm, steady force.
I try, but maybe not always.
I know. I've known you for years now, and you are absolutely amazing at what you do. And Dave as well, the work you're doing with Tompkins, which leads me to my next question. Let's talk a little bit about the fact you've been president of the bank now since 2021. Can you tell us more about why you were excited to step into this role and what it's meant to you to lead the bank in this growing and vibrant Hudson Valley region?
Yeah, thank you, Linda. It's sounds a little corny, but it's really like a lifelong dream for me. I started in banking in the late 90s, and I had worked for a bank called Union State Bank, which was one of the powerhouses. A gentleman by the name of Tom Hales ran that bank back in the day there, along with Hudson Valley Bank and Bill Griffin, and really 2 titans in the industry that transformed Westchester County in many, many ways. And that was the environment that I had grown up in. And to be all these years later as a lifelong Westchester resident, watching and being part of Tompkins, where I'm running a very similar type of bank with so many more capabilities. We're 3 times the size that those institutions were back then. It's big shoes to fill, and it's exciting work that we're doing, and it just really means the world to me.
That makes such sense. And Westchester County, I think we live here. We love it. It's one of the most beautiful places, in my opinion, in the country. And we're so lucky to live here. And maybe if we have time, I'll talk a little bit about how banking has changed in the many years since you started and now where you are. As we talk about the bank, share more about how the bank supports small and medium-sized businesses in Westchester. There are so many wonderful small, medium-sized organizations here.
Yeah, absolutely. So first 6 months of the year, we've lent over $100 million of new loans to small and mid-sized businesses here in the Hudson Valley, the majority of which were in Westchester County. We not only are lending, very active lenders, in this market, but in every different type of market. As I mentioned, we're 185 years old. We've been around. We've seen every different type of cycle. and we're very consistent. So when times are good, we have a set of protocols that our customers will get used to, and then as we go through some rougher times, it's the same set of protocols, the same lending standards. So we're not going into markets when things are great and then pulling back and leaving you stranded. We're there. We're a partnership. Our lenders and our branch managers are seasoned professionals that have credit training, that get to know your business, get to understand what your needs are. Oftentimes, clients will not understand the banking vernacular. So it's important for our people to understand what the client's need is, so that you might be thinking you need a line of credit, but actually, no, you need a term loan. And we have to understand that. And we have trust services that we can provide. And we have a whole partnership. We have great cash management capabilities. For a bank our size, it's really impressive what we're able to do. We can compete with all the big guys in terms of cash management. So for our people to be trained, and they've been, all of us have been here for a while, and we're evolving, we're growing, and we're always adding new people. But when people come into the organization, they stay, and they get to know your business, and they get to help you grow. And we're not just looking at what's happening in 2025 or 26. We look 3-5 years out. Where are you going to be down the road? So that's I think what really sets us apart.
And what I'm really hearing, which I think is really important for a customer, is that you're fulfilling dreams, whether it's for a business or it might be a home loan, but you're also giving people guidance because they don't know what's out there or what's available or what they should do next. And that's huge. You're focusing on the relationship.
That's exactly right.
So Heidi, tell us a little bit about your role as a board member and the impact that you're making and what you are most excited about. This is really a great experience.
It has been a great experience. I knew Dave D'Amelia when we were on the Business Council board together, but I never sort of got to experience Dave D'Amelia, the head of the bank. And so now that I have transitioned to Dave's board in the Hudson Valley for the first year, and now I'm also on Tompkins' corporate board as well, what I have found about Dave is just how awesome he is at his job, how much respect his team has for him. And with a smile and with humor, how incredible that this bank is. And I think, my big takeaway, people say like, well, what is it really like? What's Tompkins really like? It's a community bank. Yes, it's a community bank. So that comes with like, what does a community bank feel like? They know me, they are with me and a partner along my journey, and they've been around for 188 years. But they also are a big bank with $8.3 billion of assets and publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange under TMP. So you've got this very local neighborhood community bank feel where I will travel with Dave to hand out anniversary awards to different branches.
Aww.
And we will sit there and we will talk to all of the individuals, and everybody knows everybody. And everybody knows the customers who are coming in, and they're laughing and sharing updates on grandkids together. And so those are the kinds of things that you would think are community bank-like, but then it is supported by this very large public company. So
Vast resources.
Vast resources, a great net. If you hear uncertainty in banking, that's certainly not the case at Tompkins because it is neighborhood, community bank, but public company support underneath. And public company rigor, which as a banking customer of Tompkins, I want as well.
So it's a very powerful entity, and the work you're doing is very powerful. So let's talk about it's also so much more than just banking, which is critically important. But we also want to talk about what the bank culture is like and how this has impacted what the Tompkins team does in Westchester in terms of community service and giving back to the area. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about that.
It's right there in our name, Community Bank.
Right.
So we have about 125 employees here in the Hudson Valley. At last measure, those 125 employees participated in over 150 different organizations where they had volunteered their time.
Wow.
The people that work here live here in this community. They are vested in the community. They're doing this stuff on their own, whether they're part of Tompkins or not. They just like to stay here because we support that. And that culture was here long before I got here. The leadership team that we have very much believes in this, that if we do the right thing by our community, and we are forming these important relationships and partnerships, that at the end of the day, all of the goals that you set at the start of the year, they'll be there if we're doing the right things with our community. So we don't just donate with our dollars. We are out there with our Tompkins T-shirts and our hats and waving our pom-poms, and we are doing walks and helping with food pantries. We just did a number of them. I've actually got a couple here that we've participated in this past, just recently. The Carver Center, the Community Food Pantry in Tarrytown, Paws Cross. We're doing Paws Cross next month. So those are all just really exciting things for us, and the team just loves doing it. So.
Well, that's, as you're touching upon this, that's what's so important. There are so many incredible non-for-profits out there in Westchester County. The BCW, we're proud to say we have over 155 non-for-profits within our community, and they all have very important missions and clients. And it sounds like you're really spanning kind of all of the different sectors that with different mission statements that are out there helping our residents, our wonderful Westchester residents. Well, thank you both. We're going to pause for a moment and we'll be right back. Tompkins Community Bank is proud to support the Business Council of Westchester. For generations, Tompkins has helped the communities we serve thrive and grow. As a community-based financial institution, we consider it our duty to provide innovative financial solutions for local families and businesses as they navigate their financial journeys. At Tompkins, you don't have to choose between business as usual. Instead, choose business accomplished and business accelerated with cash management solutions that help you manage your growing business. Tompkins, your bank of choice. So Dave, let's talk about how the work Tompkins has done has shaped Westchester. Share with us some of your most meaningful stories or client, situations.
Thank you for asking that, because that's the thing that I think we're most proud of. You can see it physically with some of our real estate developments. Currently right now we have, we're working with Paul Galero up in Yorktown on 184 new units in Yorktown Farms. It's a really exciting project. We're working with BCW members, the Murphy brothers, on their self-storage in Mamaroneck.
Terrific.
Which really is great. So, you can see it physically. Tennis Innovators, they're about to open their second location here in Westchester. We helped them bring their first location into White Plains, and now they're about to open in September their second location in New Rochelle. So that's where you can physically see it. But then, a lot of our clients that are service-oriented, we form partnerships with the folks we have in the bank, along with their financial service advisors, whether it's accountants or lawyers, and et cetera. And we'll sit down and we'll map out plans. All right, how are we going to get you to grow from this point to that point? And we'll work over the years to get our clients to help them reach their dreams, and then transition those businesses to the next generation. And that's really rewarding when we see new generations coming in and filling and growing and taking it to even next levels beyond wildest dreams. And we've been around long enough now where we've seen things that, wow, I can't even believe how big this business has become. And that's really exciting.
All pieces, economic development. I love economic development. We all do, because it creates jobs, which creates futures and opportunities. And then you're sharing your expertise, because as businesses move from generation to generation, it's not an overnight process. It's years of exit planning, correct? Or succession planning.
Yeah.
So tell us, we would love to hear your expertise, both of you, Heidi and David, about what small businesses should be thinking about in order to stay solvent and successful in today's economic world. What are some ideas you think small business owners should be thinking about?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'll start and you can...
Go ahead, yeah.
Sure. So, today's world is changing so dramatically. And frankly, with AI and quantum computing and all the changes that are happening, I don't think any of us know exactly what the world's going to look like in 5 years. It's going to be very different.
It's exciting and scary at the same
Exciting
time.
and scary. We know that, my view, people aren't going away. We're still going to need workers.
I agree.
Phew.
But I think to be adaptable, you're going to have to be flexible and have a business that is able to handle whatever these changes might look like over the coming years. So not getting too fixated on, okay, this is the product that is a great product right now, and I'm going to go all in on this thing. You have to be able to adapt with the changes. Relationships are what builds everything, and that's not going away either. So really forming strong relationships with your partners, your vendors, suppliers, whomever they may be, clients, because you won't always have the best product at the best price. You can never, as a small business, have all of those things. But if you have the right relationships, you will be successful at the end of the day. And you can never discount, particularly in this area. And this is where the BCW is so impactful, is making these connections through these relationships, bringing people together. So that's so important. And giving back to the community. Everybody, I think, particularly with the generations coming up, after us, they really want to give back to the communities that they're in. So the more that you can show that, hey, we're in this for more than just a buck.
And it sets a great example, right? Mm-hmm. It sets a great example. Heidi, what about you? What are some ideas or
I
thoughts?
echo a lot of what Dave said. I'm a proud Business Council of Westchester member for 25 years, maybe more. So I think that's important, getting involved in your community, understanding what's happening, in your space. But I would focus it on Tompkins, if I may just go back for a second. And that is when I think about how, a decade now is under my belt for Galvanize. What I have done is identified who's part of my cabinet, who are my panel of experts. And Karen, shout out to Karen from Tompkins, it's my banker, is one of those people in my cabinet who, will sit down and we'll talk about what are my goals, what are my worries, and then that cabinet, including Karen from Tompkins, will help me navigate what that is. So for her, one of the things I was worried about at the time was economic uncertainty. And what if we have, a client who does not pay us in a timely fashion? Well, I still have 191 other people I have to pay who have bills and families and all of that. And so I was expressing that to Karen, and she was brainstorming with me on my options, and we ended up going with a Tompkins line of credit that just sits there. Hope I never need it, just in case I do, right? But what I love about, again, Karen, is that she's just in it with me. I feel like she's in it with me. She's running alongside me. She is invested in my success as a company. She is also taking something off my plate that I am worrying about and helping guide me through what my options are. And so for me, there have been, of course, there's the Business Council and all of you guys behind the scenes, but then there's also a small group of individuals who are experts in their space that I feel like are on my side, on my team, giving me great advice and helping me navigate whatever is next for my business.
So I think that's key, right? For any small business owner, is surround yourself with experts, because not everybody knows everything. But if you have a key group of people that can guide you, it's a game changer. Mm-hmm. Good reminder for everyone. So what's next for Tompkins Community Bank? Any big goals on the horizon?
Yeah, the industry is so dynamic right now and changing so drastically that the key for us is to stay on top of that and provide extraordinary customer experience. We want our clients using the latest technology, getting the benefits of the latest fraud protection. So staying ahead of that curve and making just user-friendly opportunities, however they want to interact with the bank, available and accessible. You can always call the president of the bank, one of our directors, face-to-face or using your phone or however you want to interact with us. I think that's really the key.
So great access.
Stay on top. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So tell us, both of you, and I love this question, when people hear your business name, Heidi and David, what do the two of you want people to immediately think? What do you want to be known for?
Yeah, we talked about this just a few moments ago, or a little earlier, and Heidi and I both thought trust, immediately, and partnership, trust, high level of personal service. I think those are the things to think about with Tompkins. We're here, we're in it with you, for you. And we're your partner, and we're not going to go away when things are a little tough.
I love that. You're in it for the long haul, so to speak.
Yeah.
And trust is really about relationship building, because trust doesn't happen overnight, right?
No.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Heidi?
I think for Galvanize, full service marketing and communications firm, I think two things. Just great quality of work, attention to detail, great quality of work is important, of course. And then I think we're sort of player coaches, so we can do the strategy and we execute, where a lot of firms will just execute, or a lot of firms will just deliver you, a big fancy presentation and tell you what you need to do, and then you're left to figure out if you can execute. I feel like we come to the table with both of those things. We are strategy, and then we just execute the heck out of a plan.
I love that. I love that. And again, you both, and I've heard this throughout the conversation, you think about the bigger picture. And that's critical, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you both for being here today. It was a great conversation, and we really enjoyed hearing about what's happening at Tompkins and Galvanize as well, and your role as a board member, which is very exciting, and your role as you've really grown, and you started when COVID was, kind of in the, you were right in the middle of all of the unprecedented world events. So, and you've grown and flourished, and it's very, very exciting. This is a quick reminder for our listeners that the Business Council of Westchester is the county's largest business membership organization. We are proud to say we have over 1,100 active and current members within our organization. If you'd like to learn more, please go to www.thebcw.org. Thank you for listening.
Be sure to check out the BCW Podcast Network's expansive lineup of shows: Leadership Unleashed, What's Trending, Advocacy and Politics Unplugged, The Member Spotlight, and Nonprofit Voices of Impact. The Business Council of Westchester is the county's largest business membership organization focusing on economic development and advocacy. With over 1,100 members, it is our mission to work for the profitability of our members and the prosperity of the Westchester community. To learn more, go to thebcw.org.